Hey guys, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at the K-Works. In roughly 2 weeks, I'm going to have a track day, the first track day of the year. So as you know, this year I want to really push that 1 minute mark at Awada circuit. So we've got some general maintenance and a couple of upgrades I want to do in this video. So that's going to be getting that ready for, the track day in 2 weeks. Before we get on to today's jobs, I want to give a really big thank you to all of you guys. Currently we are sat at, I think, 360 subscribers, which is more than I ever thought I would get. I started this channel with the idea of mainly to show my car shenanigans to my friends and family back home. But the bigger thing than the subscribers is the people that I've now met through this channel. You know, through the GTR, through the K-Works, and even through the Jimny. I've met or made connections with so many new people now who share similar passions and similar interests to me. So for me, that's the really thing that I'm really happy about. So thank you all who have reached out to me. I'll hopefully keep you entertained. Anyway, let's crack on with today's jobs. What are we going to do today? So we need to get this ready for the track day in a couple of weeks time. So first things first, I need to do an oil change. So I've gone with a HKS setup this time. No real reason with HKS, only because there is actually a deal on Amazon at the moment to get, 4 litres of oil plus an oil filter. It actually worked out cheaper than buying something like Castrol or something else. So yeah, that's really the only reason I went with HKS. I know it should be a good brand, but that's why I went with that. Second thing, when I was laying under the car the other day, I noticed that I do have a couple of gaskets on the exhaust that are leaking. So I've bought myself some more gaskets, so we're going to swap those out. Thirdly, I finally got around to getting the correct braided brake lines. So we're going to fit these. I'm really excited about these. I think they're going to make huge improvement to the brake feel. So for those of you who don't know, generally standard brake lines are rubber, which is fine for everyday cars. It's not a problem. But when you're at track and you really need that braking ability, when you're really hitting that pedal hard, there's actually a slight expansion in those brake lines. Because they're rubber, there's a slight expansion. And from that expansion, instead of putting force into the brake caliper, you're actually just expanding the rubber. So you're getting actually a less effective brake pedal. And it also gives you kind of a spongy perception feel to it. So what braided brake lines do is they've still got the internal kind of rubber, silicone, whatever it is, but on the outside they've now braided it with a steel, or in this case stainless steel. So when you really are pushing hard on that brake pedal, the hoses now don't have the ability to expand. So all of that force that you're giving it is actually going directly into the caliper, which gives you, a better braking performance. And you also take away some of the sponge some of the sponge feeling in that brake pedal. So you've got a more firm brake pedal. Gives you a little bit more confidence on track, but also improves the performance of braking. So this is something that as you've seen in an older video, I've done on the GTR. Since then, I've changed to the R34 brake setup, but they also have the braided lines. So it's a really big performance upgrade that if you're taking it to track, I really recommend doing. Lastly, I've got this little tool. So one of the changes I want to run this year is I'm gonna up the tire pressures. Looking at the tires that I had last year, or the wear on the tires last year, talking with other people who run K-Works here, and also other people who run the Awada track, I've kind of figured out and been recommended that I need to run higher tire pressures. So that's one of the other things I'm going to do this year. But also added on to that is I want to look at running more negative camber on the front wheels. So I've got this tool. I'll show you how I'm going to use it later. It's by no means the best, most accurate way of doing it, but this is what I'm going to work with for now. I'm going to have a play with it, see what happens, and see how I can run it basically. But first things first, I'm going to get this up onto the quick jacks, get the engine warmed up so we can drop the oil. Dropping the oil will be the first thing I do. Having said that, it's not the first thing I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this tool and I'm just going to check what kind of camber I've got at the moment. We're going to do that before I get the car off the ground. So when you lift the car up, the suspension is going to sag slightly and it will actually move the wheels in. So when you drop it down again, you actually kind of need to move the car for the wheels to set back into their normal position. So at the moment it's in normal position, so I just want to check where they're at now. So I've got kind of a starting mark. I just got this off of Amazon. It seems to have pretty good reviews on it. So how this works is, let's open the box. This is what the tool looks like. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to be putting this onto the wheel like this, So the first thing we need to do is align this air bubble here so that we know we're getting it on a horizontal plane, something like that. And then from that we can then read where this air bubble is here to see what kind of camber percentage or camber we've got at the moment. So it's going to go onto the disc, so something like that. Okay, so it's now on the disc. The wheels are pretty straight. So what we need to do is first align this air bubble, something like that. So that's now central on here, and we can see we're running about negative 1.5 degrees camber there. So now I know that this side, I'm now going to check the other side. Once we've finished the other jobs, we're going to start playing with the camber to see what we can do with it. Okay, so we've got the K-Works jacked up now. I've run the engine for a little bit, so it's nice and warm now, so the oil should come out lovely. I've also gone ahead and I've already got the back wheels off. So let's have a look what we're going to be playing with. So there is the oil filter, and here is the drain plug. So it should be pretty good. Shouldn't be too bad. So here is my setup. I've got my my drain catch can here. Take them plugs out before I forget. That's what I'm going to drain into, so I just need to catch it coming out of the drain plug up here, and then we'll take the oil filter off in a little bit. Okay, let's get ready to catch this. It's nice and free. How are we gonna... Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. I caught most of it on the barrel, so on the container. So remarkably, these small engines only have, I think it's about 2.9 litres of oil. With the filter change, it's only 2.9 litres required. So I'm going to replace the drain plug with one of these Gredi magnetic ones. I think because we're pushing the engine quite hard, I think it's going to be a good idea to make sure we catch any metal particles at the bottom there. So that's now going to go back in. It's pretty much finished draining now, which is good. It doesn't take long to drain this. Oh, yeah, it's going to be good fun getting it in the hole. Just make sure this is tight. Not too tight, but tight enough. That's it. So we'll just keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't leak. Okay, what's next? Next is going to be this oil filter. So let's see if I can get this out without spilling it everywhere. Oh, tight. So this is the same oil filter spanner kind of thing I use for the GTR, so that's good. Let's okay, I think that's free now. That wasn't too tight in fairness. Just want to make sure we catch this. I should have taken that bit off. Now I'm going to have to clean two things up. I'm going to change my gloves because these are not really the right gloves to use. Okay, so it looks like most of the oil is drained out of that now. So let's go ahead and get it off. Well, there's a little bit more oil coming out. Let's get this off quick then. There we go, that's that piece off. So I did want to put an oil cooler kit on this, but I've not actually managed to find a specific K-Works one. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get some kind of generic oil cooler kit and then fit it myself, which is not the end of the world, but it just means I need to take a bit more time to get the kit that is going to best suit what I need, really. I've got the new oil filter here, so we'll get that off and we'll put a little bit of oil on the O-ring. So if you're ever doing an oil change, it's always a good idea to put a little bit of oil on this O-ring, because otherwise when you do it up, it may snag and it won't create a good seal. So here we go. Just want to check the surface that I'm going on to is nice, which it is. Let's get this in. So the oil filter just needs to be hand tight really. That's as tight as you need to make it. Any tighter and you're overdoing it. So I'm just gonna clean this up now, clean up these areas so I can see if there's any oil leaks. Now it's gonna be a case of just putting some oil back in. Okay, so of course the next thing that needs to be done is filling the oil back up. So we're gonna be using this HKS 5W30. I haven't 3D printed myself a funnel yet, so I've let myself down here. But we're gonna get this in as best as we can without spilling any. Yeah, this is gonna go everywhere. Here we go. Oh, almost, just a little bit. Okay, that should be the correct amount of oil in there now. So let's wait for it to settle and then we'll check how much we've got in there. Okay, so it's later the same day. Well, it's actually the evening now. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. Once I'd done the engine oil, I kind of got caught up doing other bits and pieces. I got very distracted, to be honest, doing bits and pieces in the garage. So yeah, anyway, it's later the same day. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna tackle the brake lines. So we're gonna make a start on that. I've got the brake lines ready and set up, so let's get cracking. So this is the rear brake line. We are going to tackle this. This is basically what we're gonna be replacing, this brake line here. There's no particular order that I'm going to do this in because I've got to bleed the brake lines anyway. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to make a start. It's going to be a case of try and get this off and a new one on as quickly as possible. I think this has a clip by the looks of it. Yeah, that has a clip, so I need to pull that clip out first. So hopefully I've got you in a decent position where you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. So I just need to pop him off. Okay. That's cracked, so that's nice and free. So we just need to do this as quickly as possible because I don't want to get brake fluid everywhere, which is inevitably what's going to happen. Anyway, let's get this rag up here. So this clip needs to come off first. So I have this one at the ready. That one's going to go in something like that. Yeah, I'm already leaking a bit of fluid, so just gonna get it in there quick. That's one end done. That's yeah, a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little bit more messy because this is all going to come out now. Keep him up high and hopefully the fluid shouldn't come out anymore. So now we're going to attach or attack this end here. Oh, okay. That's the only thing with these new brake lines is, I don't know if you can see, but this one's kind of got a little bit of a, whatever you want to call a nubbin to stop it from moving and flexing around, whereas these ones don't. So hopefully that shouldn't make too much of a difference or an issue, but I'm concerned that we need to be careful of that. Okay, it's now starting to come out of that, so I need to get a move on really. Old one is off. Let's get him out of the way. 2 new washers to put on. Need to be a bit faster here because we're starting to lose fluid. Okay, clips on. That's nice and tight. Give it a quick spray down. That is one brake line done. So you've seen me do this one, so I'm now going to head off and do the other side. I'm going to do it without probably recording it just because I need to crack on, because as you saw, brake fluid did start coming out. It is lower than the reservoir, so naturally it will start coming through. So I'm just going to crack on and get that next side done. These are a little bit longer than the original ones, so hopefully that won't cause too much of an issue, but we'll see. Okay, so where are we at now? So we're on the front now. I've just done that rear. Yeah, so the front's a little bit different, so much as it's got a mounting bracket here. So first thing to do is we're going to take off that bracket. That will just allow us to quickly whip it off when we need to. But the same thing again, there's this kind of clip tab here that we need to take off, but we'll break this first before we take this off. And then we've just got this banjo bolt here, which we will do last, I guess, but we'll do this bit first. Okay, so unfortunately there's no real good place to put the camera, but the same thing again is we're just going to undo these. I'm going to do it quickly because I don't want to lose too much fluid if I can. So first things first is we're going to do this bracket, mounting bracket. That's tight. Let's get a bar on that. Okay, that's free now. So these new brake lines do actually come with this bracket. So yeah, that's just going to go in that place. But yeah, that's going to sit something like this. As you can see, the bracket's free to move, so we don't need to worry too much about that at the moment. First thing we're going to do is we'll do this end. So let's start looking at getting this clip off. Oh, interestingly, there's quite a bit of rubber up there. So yeah, that's been seeing some track day action. So that can go into there, Where's the new one is here. Just got to juggle this a little bit. Need to get that nipped up somewhat tight. It doesn't need to be super tight just yet because we still may need to kind of move it in position. But now I've got that done, again it's going to be a case of getting this 14mm head off this nut here. So it's got quite a bit more in this brake line because it's quite a bit longer than the rear. Yeah, quite a bit of brake fluid spilt here now. It's two. Just realized you can't see what I'm doing because I've not positioned the camera, but I want to be quick as possible, so we'll just whack this in. Only a little bit spilt. Okay, I messed up the recording of that because I made a bit of an error and spilt a lot of brake fluid. Anyway, the brake line is in, as you can see now, this nice new brake line. I just need to get this bracket put in here. I'm not sure exactly how. I guess something like that. So yeah, you can see this is the bolt for the caliper. I just need to get this bracket tied in there now. So that's gonna just go in here. So it's whatever. I mean, the pipe is free to move in that bracket anyway, so doesn't need to be in the perfect place because it should hopefully find its own position in there once it gets settled in. So we'll just nip him back up. That's in there, and that's nice. That's free to move, so I'm happy with that. So let's get on the other side. Okay, last one is in. Let's have a better look. Yeah, last one is in now. See here, it goes up to there. Really nice fitment on that. Yeah, so next thing to do is we need to bleed the brakes. Now, so I've already done a video before and changing brake fluid. I'll link it up here or down in the description. So I'm not gonna bore you with that because I've already done a video on doing that before. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on and I'll let you know the results. Good morning, it is the next day. Unfortunately, my battery ran out on the phone, so I couldn't record anymore, but I'll update you on the progress. So the K works, the brake lines are all fitted now, and I've already bled them, so they're looking good. There's no leaks that I can see, so I'm happy about that. There's the front and the rear. Yeah, looks good. I've bled it and topped it back up. So it's got some fresh brake fluid in there now, and it's ready to go on track. So happy about that. So what's next? I started doing the camber adjustment, as you can see. However, I realized that this bolt I thought was going to be adjustable from the factory, but it's not. So I've had to order some bolts for adjustment there. I'm just waiting for them to arrive, so they might arrive today, in which case I will add on to the end of this video, but if not, I won't. And then finally, excuse the mess in the garage for the minute, finally we just need to add these gaskets to the exhaust, but I'll do that after I've done, so it's that flange there and that one there that are leaking, so I just need to need to fix that. But I'll be doing that after I've done the camber adjustment. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Getting ready for track in about a week and a half away now. So yeah, getting ready for that. If you have made it this far, the Jimny gearbox has decided to give up. So the Jimny is stuck in second gear. The clutch is still working, but it's literally just stuck in second gear. Even if you put it in neutral or another gear, it's just second gear. That's all I've got. So I guess the gearbox overhaul is gonna come pretty soon on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.